Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stickity Stacks in the Stain Baby, representing TKOG. And today I'm going to be updating SHADDOLLs for you guys. I have been experimenting with quite a few decks, and what I liked was, okay, so this is why I started jumping on other decks, because the bandwagon was so strong on SHADDOLLs that my locals was just filled with them, and I was playing too many mirror matches. I was going into time a lot. I legit have never lost a mirror match in my life, but it was very annoying. I'm pretty sure you guys understand how annoying a SHADDOLL mirror match can be. It can take over 40 minutes for game one, depending on how things play out. So I started playing like Dragon Maids and Drytrons and other decks, Plunder Patrols, you know, Prank Hits. I topped with all of them except for Plunder Patrols. And then I went back on SHADDOLLs when I saw that all the SHADDOLL bandwagoners were playing Tri-Brigade and Dinos and like the new Lightning Overdrive stuff, the Scrap Dinos and Tri-Brigades, and they're playing Drytron. So I was like, cool, you know, they're on the next bandwagon. So I went back to my SHADDOLLs. I got 4th place the last time I took this locals, and then I got 3rd place today. Unfortunately, did not get 1st place either time, but I finished X1 the other day because there's locals that I could go to Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I went to the one on Tuesday today, and the other one I went to was a Thursday one, but it was like last week or the week before that, because I actually skipped locals a week. But I ended up today, there was some Tri-Brigade, there was some Drytron, there was also some Orcus Eldritch, and then also, there's just a variety of decks. I finished X1. I actually lost to Fluffles, of all decks to lose to. I opened up with Ecclesia, Fleur de Lis, Punishment, SHADDOLL Core, and I think Invocation. It was just like one of the weirdest hands ever. It really just did not work. But anyways, deck's amazing. This deck is absolutely insane. I think that SHADDOLLs are in a good spot right now. I think that Drytrons literally just can't beat Winda, and also at the same time, a well-timed construct to send Ariel to dump their and banish their ritual spell, and the Benton and the Drytron names is also insane. Punishment's so good. Nadir Servant's a cracked card. You've got so many incredible follow-ups, so much resources funneling in and out. You just have this huge snowballing factor. A lot of decks can't keep up with the advantage you can get. You have Super Poly to out the Herald. I mean, your deck is built and designed to tank the meta right now, including the Tri-Brigade. Like, what I like with the new list, because I have some new cards in here, is that SHADDOLL Fusion single-handedly dismantles Appaloosa, the Ancient Warriors Link 2, and Revolt all at the same time. When you send Genius, SHADDOLL Dragon to summon Obcolone, you force all 3 of those cards ASAP, and you chain block and make whichever one like is your priority that you need to get rid of, the lore and the chain link and the rest. You just bait everything out with one SHADDOLL Fusion. It's crazy. Like, this deck is absolutely insane. It's never not been. I'm really glad now that it's not as popular, so that people that actually play SHADDOLLs because they like the deck and not just because they see everybody else playing it can just enjoy it again. But let's go ahead and get into my list. If you have not checked out the Patreon, definitely check out the Patreon. More people are coming down to it and joining and linking it straight to the Discord, getting connected. It is very much worth it. It's worth your time. It's worth my time because you're going to get more out of me than you get normally just from these videos. There's tiers 1, 2, and 3. There's benefits that come, and the highest tier gets every benefit of the lower tiers and then some. And there's also just different ways you can support me, and also just by subscribing or joining the Discord. All of that helps. I appreciate it very much. Let's go ahead and get into the list. So deck's crazy, right? I'm gonna open my packs after. So starting off with 3 copies of Alistair. The card is insane. This Alistair's the man. Even like, even though people make fun of it and make jokes and he's like a meme, like, this card is very, very strong. He's so much pressure by himself, forcing Dragoon literally by itself, because when you really think about it, Makaba outs Dragoon. So Alistair outs Dragoon. Alistair forces cards to activate. This forces Tri-Brigade Revolt in the weaker hands, like when you've Lancia'd them, like I've Lancia'd them before, and they just had Revolt. This forces Revolt immediately, and then they play into the SHADDOLL Fusion because they just don't want you to actually, you know, get your Invoke engine going. Alistair's insane. We all know this. Damage Step, really, really insane card. Very powerful. We have 3 copies of Squamata. The other thing is, too, he's just a fusion outlet. Sometimes you just need, for this deck, when you draw a few SHADDOLLs and some fusion spells, you could just break all these boards people are making. If it ain't an FTK, it's literally, you could break it. Next up for the Shaddolls, we have 3 copies of Squamata and also 3 copies of Windy. These are the best Shaddolls. I would not cut them down to any less than 3. These are the best ones to open. These cards are not dead draws. And then I actually had to make space because I decided to main deck Lancia. It was a good meta call. I knew that my locals would be a bunch of Tri-Brigade crackheads. And I called it right. A lot of them are playing Tri-Brigade. In fact, a vast majority of the same people that were playing Shaddolls are now playing Tri-Brigades. And then you've got Dinos, people trying to play Scraps, trying to play FTK. You've got Phantom Knights. There's a lot of Phantom Knights in my local. Lancia is just really powerful for me. It was a meta call, so or a locals call, rather. So I had to make room for the 3 Lancia. I don't regret it. So I'm playing 1 Hedgehog now, 1 copy of Beast, 1 copy of Falco, 1 copy of Ariel, 1 Genius, and then 1 Dragon. The utility is there. This deck is an amazing toolbox. It has problems to solve. I mean, it has answers to solve pretty much all the problems that you would normally run into. You've got spot removal for everything, permanent negation, monster effect, negate and destroy, back row removal, protection, recursion, consistency, OTK potential. I mean, this deck's got it all. It's got draw power. It's got surge power. It has such a good resource sustain. It's really, a lot of the times it feels second to none when you compare it to other decks out there. No, very many decks can grind as well as this deck can, but the grinding is just the icing on the cake. The deck can close games out so fast. Today, I was just opening up Kaliga into the window later, and it even happened where I opened into Kaliga, somebody droplets it, and then I still summoned Winda, and he still lost. So, like, I've been just doing that a lot. Like, that's another reason why Alistair's insane. Because of Kaliga. Honestly, Kaliga Winda is GG against everything right now. If it's a trap deck, it's already a good matchup for you. You grind so well with the 1-for-1 trades. I don't regret any of these Shaddolls. Genius is amazing. Like I said, Shaddoll Fusion literally forces the entire Tri-Brigade board now because of Genius. And it allows me to play Shikinaga. That's a new addition to the extra deck. So I have made some changes for the better. Shikinaga is more than likely here to stay. She's an amazing card. Next up, I obviously, like I said, I started playing Lancia. Normally, I would say you don't need hand traps because Shaddolls can break any board. I would just play droplets in case somebody tries to activate Dweller against me. Dweller can hurt. But I saw that a Dino FTK was running around, and I know that they need a banish, so I figured this would not only cover the FTK because people are going to want to play it, but it would cover the Tri-Brigades, it would cover the Phantom Knights. You know, it covers a lot of ground. Even against Dragon Link, it's a pretty strong card. Against Invoked, other Shaddolls players, it's pretty decent. It's just a well-rounded hand trap, and it's a light. I like it. If people chill out on the bandwagon, maybe I'll change things, but for now, I have to. I have to adjust. I have to adapt instead of complaining about stuff being broken and saying Konami needs to ban this or ban that. I just like to adapt, and, you know, I just feel like it's better to have variety because it's always nice to see a lot of different decks doing good as opposed to 1 or 2 or even 3 just being the elite decks that everyone knows they're the best and they don't want to play anything else. This is a good format right now. Finishing up the monsters, we have 1 Ecclesia, 1 Fleur-de-Lis, and 1 Golden Lord. Golden Lord is an insane Shaddolls fusion target. This card is just, and it's amazing. Like, you keep so much pressure on your opponent and you could just crack boards. Playing into boards, the Shaddolls Fusion has so many different, like, options as far as utility goes. And also, with dismantling boards, you have a ton of different options. This is just one of the best lights. This is better than Trick Clown. You're going to add it to your hand every turn and just discard to send a card that you need to get rid of. Or just summon it just to put pressure onto your opponent. The card is just amazing. Phenomenal card. The Dogmatika package is very, very standard. I don't think that anyone is really deviating from that. I also like this ratio. I have considered playing more Ecclesias, but we'll see how testing goes in the future. Because I definitely think Ecclesia is a great card to open. Next up, for the spells, we have 3 copies of Meltdown. This card is absolutely broken in Shaddolls. In fact, Shaddolls play Meltdown better than Invoke does. I mean, you have Aguadis, and then there's cool tricks where when you summon a fusion with Meltdown up, the window of opportunity for the summon is still open for you to chain Twin Twisters, chain your Cosmics. You know, just do whatever you need to do so that you can get your spell speed for protection. Definitely take full advantage of your Meltdown, utilize it, and just get every bit of even if it's just incremental, every bit of advantage that you could capitalize on, every time that you can get some kind of activation in that summon window, do it, make a habit of it so that you never forget it. This just helps your deck's overall performance and really does kind of cut a lot of interruptions off and make them unusable in a lot of scenarios when they're needed to be used in that time window, and then they lose their value, which means it's easier to play around them or play through them, if that makes sense. It's just an amazing card. When you're fusing and you're summoning Construct, everything you do is free. When you summon Ob Cologne with Meltdown, it is literally like one of the most broken plays in this deck. When you are summoning Ob Cologne, like when you actually get Meltdown to stick, like I don't know what Tri-Brigade player actually would let this stick. Sometimes they do, and they just use Appaloosa to negate Alistair. That's fair, but sometimes they just bounce this because they know how good it is. But if they let Meltdown stick and you activate Shadoll Fusion and summon Ob Cologne, your dragon is going to pop Revolt if you target it, of course. Your Ob Cologne is going to negate the Appaloosa, and then the Shadoll Genius is going to negate or prevent the Ancient Warrior from being able to be activated. And you get that all off of one Shadoll Fusion, and you can still follow up with the Schism to just end their turn on their follow-up. It's just such a powerful play. Meltdown is just a very, very disgusting card. I love it so much. It's so good. It's so good. Including in the mirror matches, I still love doing Meltdown plays with Schism. When your opponent has a fusion, for example, let's say they have Ob Cologne, and I have a Schism up and my Meltdown's up, I activate Schism, the fusion summon. My fusion summon is still the last thing that happens, so when I send that Ob Cologne off to summon, let's say, my own, my Ob Cologne will be able to activate, and theirs will not be able to use this affecting grade because this is still the last thing that happened. When Schism resolves and the summon happens, that's still the last thing that happened, which is super duper amazing. So the mirror match, Meltdown's also broken. Nadir Servant, you just have so many crap cards in this deck. Nadir Servant is a very, very nutty and powerful card. This gives you outs to Buster Lux, like when you're going against decks that lock you out of your extra deck, and you have the Dark Ruler, but you realize, dang, they're playing a Buster Lock, then the Nadir Servant is there to help you. We have, obviously, 3 copies of Shadoll Fusion and 3 copies of El Shadoll Fusion. I would never cut these. El Shadoll Fusion is nuts. I talk about this card so much. Activating it in draw phase to play around Drone Lockbird. People are crackheads with that Drone Lockbird right now, like crackheads. I mean, people are just running around throwing Drones everywhere. They're just acting like it's Hot Rocks, just throwing it everywhere, dude. Draw phase to play around Droll, to play around Flare Release, Denied It, play around Effect Veiler. People are on that now. Chain Block, get all the advantage you can get. Dodging punishments. If they summon off of Revolt, when they activate Revolt, you could actually chain El Shadoll Fusion to the activation. Window will be up first, and Revolt will not be able to resolve at all. Not even as much as possible. You don't get any summons. The card literally fizzles. El Shadoll Fusion is still very, very nutty. I don't know why Shadoll players play none or one. It's just absolutely not correct in my opinion. This card is better than this card a lot more than often. And when it comes to games 2 and 3, this is what I go for because I'm not losing to a Bell on my Schism, and I ain't losing to no Cosmic Cyclone or no Reboot. I feel a little bit safer when I have the Meltdown, but I still prioritize El Shadoll Fusion because it plays around everything. It really helps a lot. Honestly, just an amazing card, and it helps to play around Twin Twisters in the draw phase. It's just an amazing card. It really is. And then we have obviously 3 copies of Invocation. You can never go wrong with 3, especially in this build. It is a fusion outlet. You need that to make boards and break boards. A lot of your plays and your advantage comes from fusion summoning. It's also really nice, obviously, to draw this when you already had your Alistair get Ashed or Veilered or Imperm to just make them waste a hand trap and keep your follow-ups. Next up, literally one of the most broken spells in the game is Super Poly. This card is very good right now. This is why Drytron is not as hard because you have a main deck out to the Herald of Ultimateness, in addition to being able to play 3 Dark Rulers and 3 Droplets and being able to play 3 Drone Lockbird. You have 12 Drytron hate cards that really help you out a lot. There's incremental 1-for-1 hand traps, but I think that those can help you to capitalize on the follow-ups because they're not literally going to break the whole Drytron board, but they're going to hit the most crucial part of it, and your follow-ups are always super powerful. You can either OTK or set up your own lock against them. Super Poly's nuts. I also used it today to summon Shikinaga. I love Shikinaga. We have 1 Optimus Prime, 1 Fool's Burial, and then 1 Mystic Mine. Drytron has no main deck outs. A lot of Tri-Brigade Zodiac lists have no main deck outs. People just scoop to this card the moment they see it. Am I going to feel bad? No, because look at the board they were making. Like, the thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now is, like, some decks are fair, but the boards that they make with the generic cards involved in it are not fair. And honestly, the beat cheese, sometimes you got to use it. And I'm not hating on it. But Mystic Mine is just, it's so powerful. It really is. It's just an insane card, and you can turn it off whenever you want. And then we have one Schism, one SHADDOLL Core. I do not regret Core. Core allows you to play around Ghost Spell, Skullmeister, Cypher, Gear Gamma a lot better. And it also helps with just having the ability to get recursion on your opponent's turn without playing into Ghost Spell, and Cosmic Cyclone is also really strong. Well, you could Cyclone this technically, but definitely Ghost Spell with it being so popular. It helps when you are also getting access to double Winda. I have plays where I set up Schism, SHADDOLL Fusion, and Core for double Winda, or Winda with the follow-up Construct just to get more advantage. Very, very strong cards. Definitely do not regret Core. It's amazing. And sometimes hard summoning Shikinaga off of it is amazing. Shikinaga is like a freaking Gamma right now. It is so powerful. People are like just losing to Shikinaga. We have one Resh and also one Punishment. These are the 4 traps, the only traps you need. If you draw a spell in this deck, it is broken. And if you draw a trap, the only one that could be bad sometimes is Core, but these you really don't mind drawing them. That is the main deck. Now for the extra deck. We have 3 Constructs. She is bae. Construct is insane. Construct, summoning her into established boards, like even Dragon Link. Like when I'm not capping, I really have broken entire Dragon Link boards. I remember playing against Dinos. I had a kind of weak hand, but I set up a fusion play on his turn. And by the way, just food for thought in case you guys wanted some advice. If you're up against Dinos and you know that they're on Dark Ruler, a cool play that you can do is SHADDOLL Fusion in the battle phase, which is a really, really nice play. You can go SHADDOLL Fusion, summon Al Capone, and what you'll do is you set up Squamata so that you can basically go Genius with Squamata, and then you go Al Capone to permanently negate the Doka, because you really don't care about the UCT, because you could fuse with your face downs, and you use the Genius to target the UCT so that it can't activate its effects. You're chain blocking all the way, and Squamata just sends whatever. And then because the Al Capone can't die by battle, UCT can't declare an attack and then activate his effect to send it to the grave. So they just can't kill you, and you just SHADDOLL Fusion. It's really insane. Just a cool thought, like just a cool play, just in case you guys hadn't thought about that one. It's a really strong play. Construct against Dragon Link is insane, because like when you are able to resolve a fusion, like when they're left with like stuff like Seal and Tidying, there's a lot of mind games. This is another reason why I talk about Core a lot, because there have been games that I would have lost if I didn't play this against Dragon Link, where I'm going Construct effect with Squamata, send SHADDOLL Fusion, and then send Core. If I didn't have Core, the only way I'd be able to add SHADDOLL Fusion from the grave is to link the Construct off. But if I wasn't playing Core, you know what Dragon Link would do? Activate Tidying and Bouncer, so you can't add the SHADDOLL Fusion from graveyard to hand. But now when you do that, they're immediately going to either A, try to Tribute Seal and bounce their extra deck monster like their Savage that already uses effect, which makes their board, they break their board themselves, or B, they're gonna just sit on the Seal and then just try to bounce the fusion that you summon off of it. This card's just very, very gross. Like when you resolve her, you can just immediately start dismantling those threats. What really helps with this deck is A, it baits and negates so well, but then B, it's always able to break the board. Construct just attacking a Savage that already uses effect, neutralizes that threat, and then dismantles it. It's so good. Such a powerful card. To this day, I mean, the deck is like 7 years old and it's still so powerful. 2 copies of Op Cologne. Sometimes when I'm grinding, I will use Op Cologne to put itself back into the extra deck, so that I always have one, because he can do that and you don't have to discard because nothing went to your hand. I even do the loop with Resh. Resh into Op Cologne into SHADDOLL Core, discard, because that's part of his effect. Add Resh back, Resh into Op Cologne. Or if I am against a grindier deck like Eldritch, I'll go Resh into SHADDOLL Falco into Op Cologne. And you just have this infinite loop where you can literally consistently recycle your extra deck. Because what you could do is when you're doing the loop with Core, especially when you have multiple fusion outlets, you use Op Cologne to put Construct back to your extra deck. You don't discard a card, and then you bring Op Cologne back from the grave, and you get it off the field again, and then use it to recycle another Construct or a Winda. So this recycles your extra deck, and it helps with your resource management for your main deck. This card is everything, honestly. It's sometimes better than summoning Winda. It's really busted. It's a very, very gross card to Winda. Literally, like, Drytron just cannot beat this card. Tri-Brigades have a lot better of an advantage against this, because they can make the first special summon that they have be the Ancient Warrior Link. That's why a lot of the times, I think, because they're limited to 2 summons if they didn't draw Barrage. They have the Karaz and the normal summon. If you can dismantle the normal and have a well-timed construct, you won't need Wind against Tri-Brigade. You can literally use Op Cologne to negate their normal, and when they extend to the special, you can summon construct, dump aerial, banish 3, and now they literally cannot banish anything to summon anything relevant at all. Like, it's crazy. This deck is so good. Like, Shaddolls are so powerful. And then Shikinaga. Like, this girl is crazy. Like, honestly, I'm mad that I ever cut her. She is so powerful. And then having that out to Mega Clops, people are starting to play Mega Clops again. Now Schism can out it. I mean, this card is just so good. Like, Negate and Destroy is so powerful, man. It really is. Most of your negates for the Shaddol portion do not destroy, but this card just doesn't care. Negate, Destroy, and then discard Dragon to pop a back row. Negate, Destroy, discard Genius to make something else unavailable. Negate, Destroy, discard Aerial. She's always multiple disruptions in one because you set up for that. You can actually set up for Shikinaga with the Squamata in hand, and then when you discard the Squamata for her effect, Squamata dumps any of those other utility cards. I cut the Invoke down to just one Makaba, Aguades, and Kaliga. Kaliga is insane! Oh, this card makes people just scoop. It's so powerful. Especially backed up with the punishment because they try to attack over it. You don't even have to waste your Alistair if you don't want to. Especially if you still wanted to activate your one monster effect and you don't want to do Alistair, you just punishment them. We have Elder, we have Magistus, we have Gravity Controller, and Verde Anaconda. Really helps when you're clearing the Dragon Link board out to just fuse off their guys into a window. Very, very good. I'm going to open these packs now. I know sometimes that it seems like I go off on a tangent, but I'm just sharing information that I feel is valuable to people that actually want to play this deck. But if you're just somebody that's here to just get the list and go, you're not really going to grow as a player if you're not willing to actually receive the information, learn, and take notes. Pretty much all you really... Oh, I pulled a Drytron Nova. Pretty much all you really need to do is retain just a fraction. You don't even have to remember everything I told you. If you just retain a fraction, it will really help you as far as performance goes when you're playing your Shaddolls. So don't feel that I'm just yapping your ear off. I'm actually telling you stuff that's going to help you because I already know this, so it's not like it's helping me to tell you. So far, so good. The Drytron Nova was a great pull. I'm pretty sure this card is quite pricey now. Who knows? Maybe it's only 20 bucks, but it is 20 bucks that I didn't have to work for, and I definitely wanted that because I am looking into Magistus right now. So, wow. Very good pulls so far, and we probably got the secret. I'm just going to speak life into it. We got the secret for the, more Magistus cards, for the Lightning Overdrive. I've been wanting Diviner the Heralds, but I'll also just take the Drytron XYZ. Okay, that's good too. So that's the Genesis Impact. Very nice pull. Very, very nice. Let's go into the Lightning Overdrive now. Spriggan's Brothers. Okay, the Sun Avalon. So that was the holo out of that one. I have 3 Spriggan's Brothers already. I need to get a Spriggan's Watch and then the Field Spell. I need a 3rd copy of it. Oh, I pulled a secret. Awesome. I called it. I called it. Am I interested in that secret? Not necessarily, but I'm grateful because so far these are some really good pulls. I pulled both the secrets. Let's go. Are they boo-boo secrets? Yes, but I pulled both the secrets and then I pulled a Nova. Honestly, these pulls are insane. They really are. So that box just was a boo-boo box because it didn't have good secrets, but I'm just grateful that I got the secrets because that means everybody else's packs did not get secrets. So I might have got 3rd place today and then 4th place the last time I went, but this just makes up for it. It really does. It just feels like I won at the end of the day. So God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. Definitely be safe, and you'll be hearing from me soon. Peace.